This is the CBC Evening News.
And a very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord with the Friday, August 5th edition of the CBC Evening News. And our top story, hundreds got the opportunity to get a final taste of Cropover 2016 during the Prime Minister's Cropover reception. Last night's event at Ilara Court brought down the curtain on this year's festival.
Prime Minister Frederick Stewart says the Prime Minister's Cropover reception is here to stay.
I'm satisfied that this reception is here to stay. And here to stay for as long as I'm around, and that means here to stay for a little while to come.
Mr. Stewart says the event has become extremely popular with the public, and last night's turnout was a clear indication of this.
From as early as January every year, the calls start to come in, inquiring when is this reception going to be, and whether callers will be able to get tickets and for how many people they want them.
Now the performers included Junior Monarchs, Summer and DMC, along with runner-up Sparkle T, Pick of the Crop Queen Aziza, Biggie Irie, Damien Marvey and Mr. Dale were also on stage. Peter Ram paid a special tribute to the late bandleader Renee Ratcliffe. And Party Monarch Lil Rick closed the show, bringing down the curtains on Cropover 2016. Shane Seeley, CBC News.
The fourth Diaspora Conference has ended at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre after 3 days of intense deliberations and exchange of ideas. Our Ryan Broom is live at the LESC. Good evening, Ryan.
Hi, good evening, Lisa. Well, as you can probably see behind me, it's quiet here now at the LESC. But the curtain came down today on the conference with Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Maxine McLean, hailing the past 3 days as a success. She says the conference has been achieving its objective, but also urged participants to continue to give their feedback along with any suggestions to improve the conference in coming years. But throughout the week, a number of topics and issues have been coming to the fore. Among them, it will now be easier for Barbadians living in the United States to contribute in a more meaningful way to projects in Barbados. It's coming through the establishment of the Broken Trident Corporation. One of the island's leading corporate lawyers, Senator Trevor Carmichael, said the corporation will allow Barbadians to make tax-deductible contributions for use here in several projects which have already been identified.
The redevelopment of Codgerton College, ongoing work at the Barbados Museum, and we've just got at the museum a large $1 million donation, not using any tax elements for a wall garden theatre, but there are other things that are required, and we will give people the opportunity, Barbadians, to make that sort of payment. Also to the Roebuck Street redevelopment, which is something that I've become fairly passionate about, and we're doing a lot of work. And one building, one iconic Roebuck Street building, is going to be starting its restoration in September, and that's going to be a beautiful coffee shop and office up top. And eventually we want Roebuck Street to become the premier street that it was in its heyday.
Well, Sir Trevor was speaking during a town hall meeting on the United States Foreign Tax Account Compliance Act, or FATCA, during the final day of the network consultation. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Maxine McLean, says they're also trying to make it easier through social media to keep in contact with Barbadians in the diaspora.
The interesting thing about social media is that you need, perhaps in the initial stages, a couple of persons, and then it goes viral, as they say. So it is part of being able to think of issues and try to use that way sometimes, because I know it's hard, and I know Barbadians, oh, I get my business for. You know, so that is a challenge. But on issues like this, where it is critical, I think you have to find some creative ways to go through other entities or individuals.
And in other news here at the conference, a group of Barbadians was taken on a journey through history today. The journey came as a presentation on tracing your roots was given during the genealogy marketplace at the 4th Biennial Barbados Network consultation. Presenters, historian Professor Pedro Welch and head of the civil service Martin Cox gave members of the audience an introduction into the process of researching family lineage. Professor Welch also gave insight into African and English naming practices, noting that last names were not common among our ancestors in early colonial history.
Most enslaved persons in the official records had single names, most of them. It does not mean that you don't find the occasional surname, but it tells us that when we are looking for our ancestry, particularly in that pre-emancipation period, some of us will have some difficulties. Because as we go back in the past, the absence of a surname as an identifier will create a problem of trying to locate the person, but it is not an insurmountable problem.
And Professor Welch encouraged people interested in tracing their lineage to use alternative methods, such as anecdotes, to supplement information gained from archival records. And finally, students in the Department of Technology at the Barbados Community College are taking innovation to a whole new level. That's because they're using their skills in mechanical engineering to make things work without controlling them manually. Yesterday at the Barbados Network Consultation 2016 4th Diaspora Conference, they showed CBC News a number of projects they worked on. These include a home automated system which is operated by a programmable logic controller, an automated window operated by an old remote control car, and a drifting go-kart. Builder of the automated window, Shay Kamabach, says they worked on the project throughout last semester.
We can do anything. We can open the window, right, with a click of a switch. We can turn on the fan, lights, anything like that. We have motion sensors as well. If you walk into your home, the lights turn on, stuff like that.
So as you can see, Lisa, certainly a packed agenda here at the conference over the last 3 days, and the organizers are expecting something even bigger and better next year. Reporting from the LESC, I'm Ryan Broom for CBC News.
And thank you very much, Ryan. Well, he was a lover of family, community, and country. This was just one way the late politician, jurist, and DLP founding member Sir Frederick Smith was described during a funeral service at the James Street Methodist Church earlier today.
A packed congregation lined the pews of the St. James Street Methodist Church to bid farewell to a man lauded for the many years of excellence in which he served the country as a politician and the first Attorney General following the island's independence, Sir Frederick Smith. In delivering the eulogy, his daughter Astrid Smith said for Sir Frederick, community came first.
I can remember as a child walking down Broad Street with Daddy, and on several occasions, people coming up to us, and coming up to him specifically, and saying, Mr. Smith, I'm hungry. Or, Mr. Smith, my kids have gotten into secondary school. I can't afford to buy uniforms, shoes. And my father would reach into his pocket, and whatever money he had, he would give to that person in need. And even if he didn't have it, he'd say, Astrid, do you have any money on you? And I would reach into my pocket, and I would give Daddy whatever I had. He said, I'll pay you back when I got home. And he would give that person that money. And when we got home, Dad always repaid with a little interest for me. But Daddy was like that. Daddy could not see a person in need and pass them.
Of his many achievements throughout the years, she says the naming of a school in his honor was dear to his heart.
That was probably his biggest honor in everything that he had achieved, having a school named after him. To my dad, education was very important. He believed that education was the cornerstone of success, and he believed it was through education that he achieved what he achieved in Barbados and for himself.
Sir Frederick was also commended for his strong support of MISA and its role in shaping the lives of young Barbadian men. Reverend Cuthbert Edwards says Sir Frederick was part of a dying breed whose focus has been the church, family, and the community.
It was Sir Fred's faith in God that framed his values and made him authentic, not false, humble, not arrogant, compassionate, not selfish, selfless, not self-centered, and which was reflected in concern for his fellow human beings, especially the poor.
Sir Frederick was buried at the Coral Ridge Memorial Cemetery, but it's his legacy and contributions to Barbados that will live on. May he rest in peace.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 # to sign up to Digicel today.
Eskimo, value, convenience, we got it. 50 stores and services, yeah, we got it all. When it comes to you and your family, it's here in Haggett Hall. Style, food, work, this mall has it all. Eskimo, right here in Haggett Hall. Eskimo, convenience for the family. Eskimo, everything for you and me. Eskimo, right here, yeah, yeah. When it comes to you and your family, it's here in Haggett Hall. Style, food, work, this mall has it all. Eskimo, Eskimo.
All behind me there, you can see the marijuana plant.
Fetters and beats is
When I come out to sweat, I went to sweating more than you. I come to wine and jam and I sure to catch it more than you.
It was always a very boring job.
This is the future Caribbean Opera. Morning and evening, we jumping up. This is me home and not leaving. We winding up. I can't get over this.
The Barbados Police Force is making steady progress in creating a more robust physical training program for its recruits. This as a new obstacle course was unveiled at the Regional Police Training Center. It comes just days after the force was commended for maintaining order on Kadooment Day. Commandant of the training center, Sylvester Louis, says the program will be a great asset to the force.
Let's say it was a lacuna within our physical training. It's something that we wanted to do for a long time. Because we have found, and I guess that you have been watching social media recently, where police officers had to take down some suspects, and it took some time. But the obstacle course would allow us in our training to lessen that time.
And from September 5th, recruits from Barbados and Montserrat will be benefiting from that new obstacle course. Special mention was made of the Barbados Light and Power, who donated many of the materials. In fact, the project, estimated at almost $40,000, was reduced to under $10,000. Mr. Louis also pointed out that the center is working on a number of other projects and corporate Barbados plans to help.
Dr. Ralph Busy Williams, last passing out, he said that he would give us at least $30,000. We want to use some of that money to ensure that the firing range have its moving targets. What's important is very, very important that police officers shoot at targets that are more or less shoot back at them instead of stationary targets.
The Fishers of Men charity is continuing to maintain its commitment to children on the island. This is over 180 children were treated to a day of fun at the Hilton Hotel on Kadooment Day. The charity is headed by Sharon Bellamy Thompson, who says she is thankful for the support from corporate Barbados. She tries to host a fun day every bank holiday and says she will continue to do so as long as the help remains available. Are you a karaoke lover? Well, for those who are, there will be an island-wide karaoke competition called Barbados Got Talent. Now, each parish will decide on a person to participate in a karaoke showdown that will be hosted at the Barbados Police Sports Club on October 29th. That event is also part of this year's 50th Independence celebration. Associate to Media Link Productions, Antoine Williams says karaoke has changed the landscape of the entertainment industry on the island, and he hopes that some new talent will be discovered.
We realize that Barbadians do possess an immense amount of talent. And in celebration of our 50th anniversary of independence and in recognition of this Barbadian talent, the staging of this event is certainly one that which we're looking forward to, and one I'm sure will bring out not only the regulars as far as karaoke competitions are concerned, but a lot of new talent.
And still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across our region.
We store just got even better. Come on in. Come down to the new renovated People's Market in Tudor Bridge with bigger aisles and even more in store. All your general grocery needs. A whole new fruits and vegetables section.